It's David, the ADHD LGPC, and today we're talking about when to choose a grounding technique, a coping skill, or an exposure to deal with a situation. Brought to you by Pop Quizzes! So really, the choice of which to do depends on the anxiety level and the result you're looking for. Grounding we'll start with. Grounding is used when you are hitting that 8, 9, or 10 on anxiety or stressful emotion. Grounding is a very temporary stopgap to bring you back down to a level that you can choose what to do. Grounding is something that can always be used, and ideally you can use grounding skills wherever you are. Grounding skills involve things such as circular breathing, grabbing an ice pack or something to put on your wrist or to hold. It could be literally feeling the chair around you, feeling the ground beneath you, anything that just can help bring you down. And again, these are used when the emotions hit a very high point, like an 8 through 10. Coping skills are used more long term. Coping skills are used when you're in a situation, you are still in control of your actions, you feel like I'm just uncomfortable here, so I'm going to use a coping skill in order to feel a bit better as I go through this situation. A coping skill could be like checking your cell phone repeatedly in order to like, oh hey, did someone message me? Cool. A coping skill can be anything that reduces your anxiety. And once again, we're going to try to steer towards adaptive coping skills instead of maladaptive, but still coping skills are used when you like that 4 through 7 on anxiety. An exposure is used for long-term cessation or long-term diminishment of symptoms. Really, we're just looking to decrease anxiety in the long run. Exposure is not something that we typically do in a moment of distress. Like when you come in, if you're highly distressed, that's not the time to do an exposure. Exposure will increase your anxiety before it decreases it. So while we often talk about grounding skills, coping skills, and exposures in the same area, really they're two different. Two of them are short-term, so grounding and coping can be done anytime to lessen your anxiety, while exposure will bring up your anxiety in order to have a long-term decreasement of it. So really that's the difference between the three. And so if you're looking for one, let's say you're going to a therapy session and you want to develop one of them, you can ask your therapist, hey, I'm having a lot of trouble, I'm hitting these 8, 9s, and 10s on emotion. How do I deal with that? Most likely grounding techniques. Or like, hey, I notice I'm stressed a lot of the time, just have general anxiety about a lot of things. What can I do? That'll be coping skills. And if you're looking for long-term decrease, like, hey, I have a phobia of flying, I don't think I can ever fly. Well, that's the time to work on exposures because we can decrease that anxiety. Hopefully that all made sense, and thank you so much.